It's Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. Well, the economy is slamming into a brick wall, ladies and gentlemen, and it is becoming more and more obvious that there is no getting out of this. This economy is being hammered, small business being absolutely pulverized. Reality is hitting this economy hard. But it is not hitting the stock market too hard. Dow Jones, markets across the board up. Dow Jones up 224 points today. And the utopia continues down its merry path, I guess. I was watching a show last night, and they had an asset manager on, and he said there's literally no chance of a major stock market crash. He says, he called it bunk. He said this rumor of recession, people saying that we're heading into a recession, is bunk. I totally disagree. I believe right now we're in a depression. I think we've passed recession. We're in a depression. But this asset manager, this Wall Streeter, saying that's all bunk, that there's really no chance of a major stock market crash. And I was reading the comments down below on that show, and people were really laughing. They really found it humorous that somebody would even say that. But, this is somebody on Wall Street trying to sell you the dream. And he needs people to buy into the dream to keep making money. But it was interesting to see people really waking up, people really calling this guy out. People know doggone well what we're in and what we're heading into. Look, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt, I believe the depression, not the recession, but the depression has begun. PayPal pukes, Google gains, crypto croaks, dollar dumps. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it today. Most of you have seen the news. Companies unexpectedly cut 301,000 jobs in January. This according to ADP. Leisure and hospitality hit the hardest. And I live in a leisure and hospitality town. And as I've said for the past month, 2, 3, 4 months, this town is quiet. This is the height of our season right now. We're in the first week of February here, height of the season. And it is quiet. And you saw me at the JW Marriott about a week ago. Place was quiet. So what we're seeing is just reinforcing what we've been talking about. I know that the television likes to tell us and keep us in fantasy land and tells us to go in our bubbles. But when you're out there, when you're at the restaurants, you see that the crowds are gone. When you go to the resorts, the crowds are gone. When you go to these resort towns, at least here in the Palm Desert, Palm Springs area, people are missing. That the snowbirds just are not here. Now, this 301,000 jobs that was unexpectedly cut, the estimate was for a 200,000 gain. Okay, so way off. And just a quick shout out to the people. Some people say, JB, you're just repeating. Look, if you know what's going on, if you have all the answers, if you're 100% prepared, you don't have to watch this channel. There's other channels out there. This channel is for people who need the reinforcement of what's going on, and they need to hear this message to know that they're not alone. Also, there are new people who are just opening their eyes and ears who have never heard this before. This message is for them. But again, this just reinforces what we've been talking about. You're not alone. Many of you just think that you're seeing things that nobody else is. I'm seeing it. The people in the comments down below are seeing it. You're seeing it with your own two eyes, and I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. We are confirming together that this economy has hit a brick wall, and it is going to continue to collapse. So you're not seeing things, you're not hearing things. I agree with you 100%. But to those people out there who think that the message is a repeat every day, I'm just talking about the latest news that's coming out in the Wall Street Journal, CNBC, wolfstreet.com, CNN, Fox Business. I'm reporting the latest news. And then people will criticize me because I'm reporting the news, that I'm reading what happened today. Well, I can't make it up. Okay, I have to report what just happened today within hours. I can't just make news up, so I have to get it somewhere. I have to watch it, I have to read it, and I'm trying to accumulate as much of this that I can, condense it down as fast as I can so all you know what's going on. And again, we are just reinforcing our beliefs of what's happening. Again, you're not seeing things, you're not hearing things. You see the vacancies, you see the retailers in trouble, you see the restaurants that are gone, you see how much it's costing at the pump, you see how much it costs for that rent. And I'm here to tell you, you're not seeing things. This is all reality, and it's going to get worse. January's payrolls report on Friday could be rough, with as many as 400,000 jobs lost by one estimate. Again, anybody who thinks I'm repeating, this just came out today. Employment either slowed to a crawl or perhaps even turned negative in January. But they're telling us things are recovering. They're telling you to run up your credit cards. They're telling you to go buy a new house. They're telling you everything is okay. It clearly is not. PNC, Provident National Corp, expects Friday's payrolls report to show a decline of 400,000 jobs, while Goldman Sachs is forecasting a drop of just 250,000 jobs. Jobless claims. Now, I looked at the forecast for jobless claims tomorrow for people who filed jobless claims last week. That number is going to come out tomorrow morning on Thursday. They are forecasting 245,000 people filed first-time jobless claims last week. So, it's just absolutely amazing that the stock market, that the Dow Jones was up 224 points today on this news. But I guess we can all thank Alphabet for saving the markets today. Yes, Alphabet is now being blamed for saving the markets today. They are now being credited, shall I say, for saving Wall Street today. So thank goodness for Alphabet being up 7%. That clearly saved the day for Wall Street. None of this means anything, right? Jobless claims, job cuts. How about Facebook shares plunge more than 20% on weak earnings and a big forecast miss? That means nothing. PayPal shares dive 25% after company blames inflation. They're blaming it on inflation. I mean, listen to these numbers. 20% here, 25% there. U.S. debt. Now, this should concern all of us, and this should have a huge influence on these markets. U.S. debt hits $30 trillion for the first time ever. And I was looking at the national debt clock. If you ever get a chance, if you have a few minutes, just Google the national debt clock, and I think you will be alarmed at what you see. You could literally spend hours reading this clock, but I just took down a couple notes on it today with the latest numbers. Interest on debt is now $424 billion. Credit card debt is at $1.03 trillion. Federal debt to GDP is 128%. In 2000, it was 59%. Median new home, the cost of a median new home is $394,000. Median income is $35.6 thousand. Those numbers just don't compute, ladies and gentlemen. How is anybody buying a house? But in my county, over 40% of the home sales is investment money. Living in poverty here in America, 39.3 million people. Food stamp recipients, 42.1 million people. Not in the labor force, 99.8 million people. Market up today, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's okay because the stock market is up. People are beginning not to buy it. They are beginning to feel the pain, and they don't care what the stock market is doing. They care if they're going to have a job tomorrow. They care if they can pay their heating bill, their water bill, or their car bill. Bloomberg, Looks like there's a whale snapping up gold bullion below $1,800. Everything is so volatile right now. We've seen crazy volatility, but gold back over $1,800 today. Slow and steady wins the race, ladies and gentlemen. And these people who just laugh at this barbarous relic, it's amazing that there is a whale out there, apparently some country buying up loads of gold, and that's why it is not showing this massive volatility with everything else. It's staying right around $1,800, and somebody, a sovereign buyer, is buying it up. So to these people out there that, oh, you can't make any money on gold. Well, you buy gold to protect wealth. You buy it so you don't lose money. I don't buy gold going, oh, I hope it doubles next week or it doubles next year. I don't buy it for that. I buy it so it protects my wealth, because it will always have value in the worst of times, the best of times, and everything in between. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, ladies and gentlemen. This is wealth protection. This is an insurance policy. And this is really to protect you against inflation running out of control. That's why countries buy gold. This is why central banks buy gold. This is why people like you and I buy gold. And if you can't afford gold, buy some silver. It is on sale. And this is not financial advice. This is me thinking out loud, sharing with you what I'm doing, what my friends are doing. Oakland, California. Now, this is an absolutely crazy article. Somebody sent this to me this morning. And this is another reason to be very, very cautious of banks, extremely cautious of putting large sums of money in a bank, putting assets in a safe deposit box in a bank. Let's talk about this. Now, there was a gentleman who put a cashier's check in his bank, Brian Leonard. He deposited a cashier's check, $33,000 check at Bank of America. Just hours later, after he deposited this check for $33,000, the bank had closed. They closed that branch location, and his money disappeared. And think about that for a minute. He was having his kitchen remodeled. He needed to pay the contractor, deposited this $33,000 check. He said this: it's hard to believe it could happen to a major bank, or it could happen at a major bank. And I think a lot of people believe the same thing. Too big to fail. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, they're so big that nothing could ever go wrong. They would never lose my money. They would never seize my money. They would never lock the doors of that bank. They're too big. So again, he said it's hard to believe it could happen at a major bank. His deposit never posted. So he wakes up the next day, checks the account, the money's not there. He calls down, and the bank's closed. So think about that. You wake up, and your bank is gone, closed permanently, and the $33,000 cashier's check that you deposited, nobody knows where it's at. Nobody said, he said this, nobody said, we'll find it, we'll make good on it, we'll take care of it. He said that the bank said, there's nothing we can do. How does that make you feel? That, this money's just floating around somewhere. How would you feel if you woke up the next day and your $33,000 that you just deposited the day before was gone? How would you feel that that same bank was gone? How would you feel if they just told you there's nothing we can do about it? Good luck. What if your Rolex collection was in a safe deposit box at that bank? What if the title to your car, business documents, things, maybe, if you were selling your car or you needed documents to sell a property, were in that bank? Who do you call? You call the 800 number, maybe somebody answers, maybe they don't answer. Do you think they're just gonna run down and open that bank up today so you can go in your safe deposit box and get your Rolexes out, get your gold coins out, get your diamond rings out, get your legal documents out, get your car title out? Do you think they're just gonna come right down? What if they don't come down for 30 days? What kind of inconvenience does that put you in? And for me personally, I'd be going nuts, because I'd be worried that my stuff might not be there in 30 days when they open up the safe deposit box. I mean, anything is possible. So this gentleman, Leonard, contacted KGO TV in San Francisco. Within a couple hours, he gets a call from the bank, and they said that they would give him back his $33,000. So I guess it's a reminder, keep your receipts, ladies and gentlemen. And it's also a reminder that people used to rob banks. Now banks rob people. That's where we're at. And I want to close with this last article. Many of you saw this yesterday. I think this was in Pennsylvania at a Golden Corral where they ran out of steaks and people began fighting. And I watched this video, and I guess somebody had gotten a steak in front of somebody else, and then they didn't have enough steak to give this other group, and that was it. There was a huge, literally a riot at Golden Corral. And I watch things like this, and the first thing that goes through my mind is, what happens when people go hungry in America? What happens when they lose pensions, when they lose their retirements, when they lose Social Security, when they lose their 401ks? What happens when they lose their homes? And what happens when they lose hope? What does this all look like? If people right now can literally go into riot mode at a Golden Corral because they ran out of steak, what happens when the problems become very, very real? And what we are witnessing right now is this economy collapsing, and these people out there who question me daily, when's the collapse going to happen? The stock market's up, there's nothing to worry about. There is something wrong with these people, and I don't mean to be critical and I don't mean to judge, but if you cannot see what is happening in your cities, if you cannot see the homeless epidemic like the one I just showed a couple days ago in San Diego, go back a couple videos back to my San Diego video. It is frightening what is happening in San Diego. I make these videos to expose what is happening and to prove that a lot of people on the television are not telling you the truth. And I'm going to continue to tell the truth. I wish I had better news. It gives me no satisfaction to report the demise of this economy and the standard of living that we have here in America. It gives me no satisfaction. I really, really wish I could make videos that would make you laugh and put a smile on your face, but I can't joke around right now because there is so much at stake. So many millions of people are going to lose so much. And this is going to be a new world, and it is not going to benefit most people. Most people have no idea. They are doubling down on these markets. They're buying the effing dip. One day, ladies and gentlemen, those dips aren't coming back, and these people are done. And people are going to learn a lesson, but unfortunately, they're never going to rebound from that lesson. And so I have great concern for this future, for the future of this country, for your future, for my future, the future of your kids. And when you look at this $30+ trillion of debt, we're paying for it. Your kids are going to pay for it. Your grandkids are going to pay for it. And it's never going to get paid back. And at some point, this cannot go on any longer before things bust apart at the seams. It's all going to come to a head, ladies and gentlemen. There's too much debt out there. The deficits are running out of control. Dollar took a good hit today too. Gold stable. So again, it's a reminder of why we must continue to prepare with real assets, to walk close to God, to get in the best physical shape that we can, to get in the right mental mindset, and to have a plan. You gotta have a plan. Too many people are gonna wake up one day. Is it gonna be a Black Monday? I don't know. It could be a Black Friday. It could be a Black Tuesday. Something will happen. An event will trigger everything. The bubbles will burst. This whole house of cards on quicksand will come tumbling down, and people will go, what happened? That's what most people will do. What happened? Then it will be, how did it happen? And it's the 1% who will say, I knew this was going to happen, and this is why I prepared. So this might be repetitive. It might be brand new to you, but I'm going to continue to repeat the message. I'm going to continue to report the most recent news. I'm going to continue to exploit the lies that they've been telling us on the television regarding this economy. You've got to be critically thinking right now, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're not, you are going to be swept away by this economic tsunami that is closing in every day. We're getting closer to something very, very big happening. And remember, when things go financially, things go socially. So make sure you're prepared. I'm going to leave it there. God bless all of you. Have a phenomenal day. And I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon.